I have collected, but more and more I am going to speak about the central government industrial policies, central government subsidies policy, and how we as a practicing CA can help MSME get this subsidy disbursed from central government departments. Friends, so far, so on, till date, our major practice is coming from the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This is bread and butter of our professional practice, and this ministry is giving us professional opportunities, and you will agree with me, day by day, due to maximum governance and minimum government, the professional opportunities so far we are enjoying from the Ministry of Finance are reducing day by day. And very appropriate time, our institute has come out with a committee on MSME and startup. And so many certificate courses are also organized. Even the committee has started with 2 batches of certificate course on MSME and startup. Startup is another dream project of the government of India. Startup India movement has started by the Honorable Prime Minister on 16th January 2017 from Vigyan Bhavan. That is another topic. Startup is another dream project of the central government. We practicing CA can play a big role as far as the startup is concerned. But see, traditional practice, what we are doing at present, and if we consider this practice with this MSME or non-traditional or say industrial practice, then you will come to know the difference what we are doing and how we can help the MSME sector in the country. So in my opinion, Ministry of Finance is the bread and butter of our practice. We are dependent on the proclamations or the rules and regulation made by the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Our entire GUMAT, our traditional or our present practice is based on the guidelines made by the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Today we are going to discuss about the non-traditional area of practice or industrial practice or subsidy practice, or in addition to traditional practice, what we can do in addition to our traditional practice, non-traditional practice or industrial practice. So as compared to two ministry, Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs, what other ministry are helpful to us to grow our practice, and with the our knowledge sharing with various stakeholders, how we can improve the overall performance of MSME sector in the territory of India, in the territory of Uttarakhand, this Devbhumi area. As I told you, a person of deliverance has been given the responsibility at Cabinet Minister of Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And you all will agree, the long awaited revision of MSME definition has taken place. So many decisions which were long awaited has been taken care of by this new government, and an important person has been given the responsibility to head the Ministry of MSME. And if any person, any practicing chartered accountant from Uttarakhand or from Dehradun is interested to come into this area of practice to provide hand-holding support to the MSME sector in Uttarakhand, I think he should devote at least 1 week of his life on this website of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Then he will come to know the various initiatives, the activities, the programs, the subsidies, the initiatives, the guidelines, the various types of policies undertaken by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So this is one ministry, I think the only ministry which is taking care of MSME sector all over India. The next ministry which is providing very attractive benefits for the overall development of textile sector in the country is the Ministry of Textile, Government of India. This ministry is also offering very various types of incentive for establishing textile sector in the country. And you know why East India Company has come to India. Textile is headed by none other than a person known for performance, Srimati Smriti Irani ji, our own colleague in a central ministry, a cabinet minister Piyush ji Goyal, who himself is a chartered accountant, is heading the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and this Ministry of Commerce and Industry is formulating the guidelines and policies and schemes for the overall development of the commerce and industrial sector in the country. And if you see, or if you visit the website of this ministry, you will come to know the role played by this ministry in the overall development of industrial scenario of the country. The dream of the dream of the PM sir to make India a global, make in India made for the world. Ministry of Food Processing Industry has been taken over by Agriculture Minister. Previously, it was with Harsimran Kaur. Now it has been headed by the Agriculture Minister of the central government. Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Food for All, National Food Mission, Food for All and National Food Mission, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Government of India, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana is the big dream project of the central government through which various types of subsidies, incentives, programs, policies are implemented by the central government to help to nourish to MSME sector in the food processing sector. And I think Uttarakhand has biggest advantage because of the agro nature of the state itself. Most of the fruits and vegetables are produced in the Uttarakhand, Himachal, and Jammu and Kashmir area, which are the adjoining state of Uttarakhand. So I think Ministry of Food Processing Industry plays a pivotal role as is concerned, because I had personally visited Uttarakhand while I was coming down from this Kedarnath to this. I drink a juice of a juice from some place Chamoli, and it was so tasty. So I thought, why not this juice is coming to Maharashtra or Gujarat or say Madhya Pradesh and to neighboring state of the Maharashtra. But it is a uniqueness of the state, Uttarakhand, where this type of fruits and this type of fruits are coming, from which a juice can be prepared. So Ministry of Food Processing can play, and we as a practicing CA, if we concentrate on this ministry, I think we can help nourish MSME sector, particularly in food processing sector, ready to eat and ready to cook food segment as well as Uttarakhand is concerned. So these are the four ministry. Then Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is the other minister which is offering various types of rooftop solar panel, windmill, thermal power, water power, so that and so forth. So this is another ministry in the central government through which we member can nourish or help MSME sector. Friends, can you imagine? We practicing chartered accountant has immense opportunity. And that project has got success, very good success by the all over the nation. And today the Ministry of Information and Technology come out with a new schemes, various 2-3 production linked incentive scheme is another scheme of the Ministry of Information and Technology. And you know, the nation is having a vision of minimum governance and minimum government and maximum governance. Digital India, more and more electronic devices, more and more government services are now available online. Today, we are joined from Uttarakhand to Maharashtra through this media or through this Zoom meeting. So this ministry is playing very important role and having multiple schemes for MSME sector, for fintech sector, for startup sector. And we chartered accountant, if we understand this scheme, we can disseminate the knowledge through CII, through Uttarakhand Industry Development Corporation, or making a joint venture, a knowledge partner with various local industries association to disseminate the information from central to the Uttarakhand state of Uttarakhand. And I know there are 13 districts in Uttarakhand. So why not this branch known as the Dehradun branch take the initiative to disseminate the knowledge throughout the Uttarakhand state about various central government policies. Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises is the another ministry of the central government which is formulating policies for public sector enterprises, mega and ultra mega project of national importance. So here also we can have multiple opportunities. By acquiring the knowledge from this ministry, we can help the MSME sector in Uttarakhand, in Dehradun, to develop the MSME sector. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. I think, in my opinion, as per as Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and all these this Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, this ministry can play very important role. And you know, very whenever the finance budgets are declared, the opposition always asks how much budget is allocated for agriculture and farmers. So this ministry has immense importance. Most of the funds are utilized by the agriculture ministry for the welfare and farmers welfare, for the development of the agri. And India was so far known as agro based economy. But if we take care of the various policies of this ministry, the important department of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare is the Department of Animal Husbandry, from where you can get up to 2 crore rupees subsidy for manufacturing a pellet, say cattle feed and all these things, milch animal. NABARD is the child of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Through NABARD, number of, so I am just naming the name of the central ministry. This ministry have multiple departments, and the multiple departments are having multiple schemes. So if we understand various these schemes of the various ministry, I assure you that we will not be dependent on the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs. But in addition to this knowledge, this in addition to the traditional practice, we can enter into non-traditional area of practice with the help of this number of ministries. For the sake of convenience, I have just put in front of you the 4 or the 8 ministry of central government. If you go to any ministry of the central government, you will find that we can have a knowledge sharing. We can help the stakeholders in the entire nation to disseminate the schemes of the central government to the end user, to the MSME sector of the country. Sir, just compare our traditional practice, what we are doing today, versus the area, the MSME sector to whom we are planning to have to give now support and to serve the MSME sector in the country. What we do as far as our traditional practice is concerned. In traditional practice, we say our clients, Mr. Nautiyal, you please pay the advance tax, please you pay the GST, please you pay the self-assessment tax, please you pay the TDS, you pay the TDS on purchases, please pay the cash withdrawal taxes and all these things. So we are telling our clients that you have not observed this provision of the corporate law, so there is a qualification in your audit report. And then we ask for our professional fee. We have completed our audit for 2020 and our fees is received by our clients in 2021 audit. So this is a traditional area of practice. What we say, you pay and then pay our professional fee also. But in case of a subsidy practice, as far as the state of Uttarakhand is concerned, as far as the central government schemes are concerned, what we do, you have listened to the various speakers, the speakers from industry also, that we can become a knowledge resource person to get the subsidy sanction from the state of Uttarakhand, from the Ministry of Uttarakhand or from the central government to the MSME sector which are established in the Uttarakhand state. So what will happen? A person from Uttarakhand will get rupees, say 1 crore rupees sanction from the Uttarakhand government in the form of subsidy. It's a win-win situation. if some entrepreneur has got a subsidy from the state of Uttarakhand or from the central government scheme, it is altogether different type of practice, because here we are getting direct cash flow in the hands of the MSME sector. Hence, the MSME will be very happy because of the knowledge, because of the expertise of a chartered accountant from Dehradun branch, an entrepreneur in Haridwar, or say in this known as Dehradun has got a subsidy of say 1 crore or 2 crore, then he will be very happy to pay your professional fee. So this is a traditional practice and this is a subsidy practice. If so, when we enter into this area of practice, this industrial practice or a subsidy practice, what will happen? The client may be ready to pay you your professional fee in advance, what we don't get in our traditional area of practice. So I told you that what we are doing in traditional practice and what we are supposed to do, or in which area, which is a niche area, a sunrise area, so far we as a practicing chartered accountant has ignored. We have not taken care that we can become a resource person to get the subsidy sanctioned from state of Uttarakhand to the entrepreneurs in a person who has established a unit in Dehradun at a Pharma City Park in the Dehradun industrial area. So altogether different. I just want to put in front of you how your traditional practice will develop once you enter into this MSME practice or become an handholding or a knowledge partner to MSME sector. Suppose a business idea has come in the mind of Mr. Rajesh Gupta, who is our vice chairman. No, I want to establish a unit. Mr. Modi has educated us about the food processing industry, and I want to establish a food processing industry in Dehradun, because Dehradun is rich in natural resources, fruits and vegetables, different types of fruits are developed, and a rich quality or an energy quality fruit juice can be prepared and which can be sold in the state of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and all these things. So Rajesh Gupta has come and in his mind and business idea. And Mr. Jasmeet Singh Chaudhary is an expert person in MSME, and he is well aware about the central government subsidy scheme and also the state of Uttarakhand government all subsidy scheme. So there is a tie-up between Mr. Rajesh Gupta and Mr. Jasmeet Singh, and the contract has been finalized. Yes, Mr. Chaudhary, you can help me to get my unit subsidy as well as my MSME unit registered or started. And with the help of Mr. Singh, Mr. Gupta has started his industry. His industry has commenced, and Mr. Gupta is very happy. And he got a subsidy of say 1 crore rupees from the state of the Uttarakhand with the help of Mr. Singh, and Mr. Gupta is very happy. But Mr. Singh was also very smart guy. Being a practicing chartered accountant expert in MSME, when Mr. Gupta has approached to him and told him, yes, I'm an expert person in MSME and I can help you. Then Mr. Singh has asked Mr. Gupta, what should be your constitution? Mr. Gupta told, no, I know Mr. Rajat Sharma, who is my existing CA. I will go to him and I will get my private limited registered from Mr. Rajat Sharma. Mr. Singh told, Are Baba, I'm constructing, I'm helping you to get your MSME registered. Then Mr. Singh is a very smart guy, smart chartered accountant. He told to Mr. Gupta, Are मैं आपका private limited bigger, I'm in my professional fee for subsidy, the fee for registration of private limited company is also included. Then Mr. Gupta thought, okay, then why I should go to Rajat Sharma? If you are giving my private limited registered included in your fee, okay, you registered my private limited. Mr. Singh has also got his PAN number registered. Mr. Singh has also got his GST number registered. Then what happened? Mr. Gupta thought, then why I should go to Rajat Sharma for my new project? Let Mr. Singh continue with my tax audit. Let Mr. Singh continue with my company audit. Let Mr. Singh continue with my GST work. So this way, if a chartered accountant is in non-traditional area of practice, friends, with 31 years of practice in the state of Maharashtra, I can very well on the basis of practical experience can tell you that your traditional practice is going to develop multifold. Today, from last 27 years, I am giving birth to MSME sector in entire state of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, to some extent in Karnataka, to some extent in say Rajasthan also. So what has happened is, to whomever I have given birth as an MSME sector, the traditional practice has come to me because of the professional services, the way I have provided the professional services, which an MSME unit till date has not got from other professional consultants, because they don't find other consultants so knowledgeable, so equipped with all the procedural aspect, right from concept to commissioning of the unit, and with all accounting, taxation, finance, proposal, bank. See, bank proposal is not a big job. We being a chartered accountant, we are expert in preparing project report. Finance is in our blood. So this way, I assure you that when you enter into the non-traditional area or industrial practice or subsidy practice, your traditional practice is 100% going to multiply. So what is the takeout today from this webinar till date? That whatever chartered accountant firms are in Dehradun, I will urge all of you to have a vertical in your office, that we take care of MSME sector in our office. You can have an added partner in your office who will look after the industrial policies of Uttarakhand government and also the central government. So what will happen? An entrepreneur has come to with an idea in his mind, and he has come out from your office after the commencement of industries with all the professional work remain with the same firm. So with this, I put before you the opportunities available to we chartered accountant in this MSME sector as far as traditional versus non-traditional area of practice is concerned. Friends, everybody, all the speaker who have joined today has given the statistics that India is having 6 crore 33 lakh 88,000 MSME unit registered in the country. Out of that, around 51% MSME units are in rural part of India, and in urban part of India, 49% MSME units are registered. So lakh 88,000 units registered. And friends, you know how much taxpayers are there in the country, including individual, including partnership firm, including private limited company, corporate entity, trust, and everything. Not more than 6 crore or 7 crore. So MSMEs are there in 6 crore. So our total existing practice, traditional practice, is dependent on income tax law and corporate law. See the use, demand, the vacuum, the requirement available in the country to help the MSME sector, to serve the MSME sector by we chartered accountant. Untapped area, unseen area by us to the MSME sector. We chartered accountant never thought beyond our traditional practice. How can we help to MSME sector in the country who are in such a large number? 6 crore 33 lakh units are there, and out of that 51% are in rural part of India. If you consider Dehradun, I think it is a hilly state, and all the central government and state government policies are favor of in hilly state, northeastern states or hilly states of the country. I think, in my opinion, you has immense role to play as far as MSME sector based in hilly part of India is concerned. And just consider the number of practicing chartered or number of chartered accountant registered or members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India on 1/4/2020. We are just 3,07,238 as on 1/4/2020. And out of that, not in practice, 1,63,681. So how much members are in practice? Hardly 1,40,000 members are in practice. And out of that, in full-time practice, 1,36,300. Just take these statistics, 1,36,321 members versus 6,33,000 MSME unit. Use demand and supply gap, untapped area. And each one of you will agree with me that yes, we have big scope in helping, nourishing, mentoring, accelerating the MSME sector in Uttarakhand, not only in Uttarakhand, in all over the India. So the demand and supply, the number of MSME and the number of chartered accountants in practice itself gives a big opportunity for us to enter and to look into this untapped area of practice. Again, you come to the full-time practice, 1,36,321. How much associate members, young chartered accountants are in practice? Only 53,368 members are in practice. 1,49,000 means around 1,50,000 members out of 2,70,000, 2,07,000 associate members, 1,50,000 members are not in practice. Why these people are not coming in practice? Why the young chartered accountants are not entering into practice? They don't find professional opportunities in CA practice because they have never thought about this SME practice, MSME practice. They say that there is no scope available as far as the traditional area of practice. One lady chartered accountant from Madhya Pradesh has called me, sir, I made a mistake that I have chosen CA as my career. If I would have become a beauty parlor, I would have earned more. That pained me. मुझे बहुत दुख हुआ वो बात सुन के. क्या एक महिला जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनी, हम we tell that we are next to IAS. Then why this lady is telling that I would have become a beauty parlor, I would have earned more than becoming a chartered accountant. It has pained me, but rightly at an appropriate time, the institute has come out with the committee on MSME and this untapped area. Now, area so far we have not taken into consideration as area of practice is now available to you, and the young chartered accountant which are selecting career job as their career, now they will select practice as their career, and they will become an expert in MSME to serve the MSME sector. And with the development of MSME sector, in true sense, we can be known as partner in nation business, in nation building. So the institute statistic itself is providing that we have huge demand and supply gap between the practicing chartered accountant and the MSME units available in the country. Role of CA. Suppose Mr. Gupta has established a unit without knowing the terms and condition and guidelines of the central government for food processing industry or the Uttarakhand policy. What would have happened? Mr. Gupta may not have got the subsidy. Who has lost? Mr. Gupta, the industry has lost. CA, Mr. Jasmeet Singh has lost. No, Mr. Gupta has not approached to a proper chartered accountant who is expert in MSME. But if Mr. Gupta has approached to a proper CA who is expert in MSME, opportunities for CA and benefit to industry, because 1 crore rupees subsidy is received by Mr. Gupta because Mr. Singh has given him appropriate guidance how to right from making application to getting the disbursement of subsidy from the state of Uttarakhand. So opportunities for CA, benefit to the industry, and handholding support to MSME sector. Role of PDC, role of MSME committee. The committee has aptly taken nationwide webinar and seminar to educate our member. Role of ICAI, ICAI has properly come out with the appropriate committee for the knowledge sharing with the chartered accountants, with the MSME, with the stakeholders, not all over the country. Traditional versus non-traditional area of practice. as I told you, and every one of you will agree with me that if if we want to develop our traditional practice, we must have a vertical in our own office which will take care about the MSME sector. And as I told you, industrial practice support traditional practice. It is not that if we enter into this non-traditional area of practice, our traditional practice will go down. Today, I'm not doing, from last 10 to 12 years, I'm not doing single audit. I am just doing the MSME work. I am giving will automatically develop your traditional practice. What is government subsidy? You know, for establishing an MSME unit, a financial support is offered in the form of fund by the state government is a subsidy. And MSME sector at a glance, MSME Sambandh, My MSME, MSME Samadhan is another dream project. There is a special faculty on MSME Samadhan. VCA can play very important role in recovery of delayed dues of MSME sector under MSME Samadhan scheme of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Udyog Aadhar registration and all these things. MSME provides large employment on all these things. I told you there are around 11 crore people are employed in this sector. There are around 3 crore, 6 crore 88, 6 crore 33 lakhs MSME in the country. I now again remember the Kedarnath Bhagwan, the Sri Shankar So I have taken the darshan of Kim. Now I come to the Uttarakhand. I am just putting in front of the various policies of the state of Uttarakhand in which I urge to Dehradun branch to organize a trainer program in Uttarakhand branch about the 13 districts of Uttarakhand state, Uttarkashi, Rudraprayag, Dehradun, Pithoragarh, Almora, Nainital, Chamoli, Tehri Garhwal, Pauri Garhwal, Bageshwar, Champawat, Udham Singh Nagar and Haridwar to educate all the entrepreneurs in these 13 districts. I have trained the trainer program itself in a Dehradun branch to educate the faculty to get knowledge about the Uttarakhand state industrial policies so that they can spread all over the 13 district of Uttarakhand and have a tie-up with industry association of all the districts, and they can disseminate the knowledge of Uttarakhand state industrial policies with the stakeholders all over the state. Uttarakhand government is also organizing Uttarakhand Investor Summit. Friends, how much of you have attended this summit personally to develop, to get the knowledge what the red carpet treatment is given by the Uttarakhand government to welcome the industry, not only from India, but from world over, to come and establish the industry in the state of Uttarakhand. This is my fancy to attend various investor summit organized by Gujarat government, Madhya Pradesh government, Maharashtra government, Uttar Pradesh government. So what I want to put in front of you, whenever next time the Uttarakhand government will organize a investor summit, I think the Dehradun branch should have a pavilion in that investor summit that we practicing chartered accountant can give end-to-end professional services for anybody who is coming all over world, all over India, and even from Uttarakhand state for establishing their unit in any 13 districts of the Uttarakhand government. See, if we become proactive, I assure you that our our area of practice as far as MSME sector will develop. So this initiative taken by the Uttarakhand government in the form of Destination Uttarakhand Investor Summit 7 to 8 October 2018 was held in itself at Dehradun. I personally had not come because I don't thought that I can serve the industry coming in the North India. But I have a dream to have my big four firm in all over the nation, in all over the state of Bharat to serve the MSME sector in the country. The Honorable Prime Minister has delivered a lecture in Destination Uttarakhand Summit 2018, Uttarakhand Industrial Summit 2019. Immediately next year, 2020-21, because of COVID, no summit has been organized, but I urge all the members who are listening to me, become an active participant, become a resource person, become the knowledge partners to the state of Uttarakhand government, to the industries department of the Uttarakhand government, that we practicing chartered accountant in the state of Uttarakhand can help you to formulate the policy, to give the handholding support to the state of Uttarakhand for establishing the industries in the state of Uttarakhand. And the scenario will be different of the Uttarakhand. MSME unit will get a knowledge resourceful person as a chartered accountant to help their grow their industry. Uttarakhand is having SIDCUL as a prime institute which help in getting plot, industrial plot and services and various schemes percolated to the industries or MSME which are coming in the state of Uttarakhand. State Infrastructure and Industrial Development Corporation of Uttarakhand Limited. Friends, how much of you have personally visited the chairman of this SIDCUL organization in your own state? How much of you have prepared a PowerPoint presentation? How much of we have the knowledge what roles this organization plays in the overall growth of MSME sector in the state of Uttarakhand? This is, suppose anybody wants to develop an MSME practice, I think knowing this organization itself will be a starting point for a career in MSME sector as far as Uttarakhand is concerned. Because policies and acts, industrial estates in Uttarakhand, where the plots are available. I had been at Haridwar. We had gone to Har Ki Pauri, and for some purpose we have gone to the RTO office and we have seen the industrial estate in Haridwar. My mind has surprised to see all brand, all well-known brand in the countries are having their industrial unit in Haridwar. जो हरिद्वार मैंने गंगा के किनारे देखा और जो हरिद्वार मैंने इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर में जाके देखा, इट वाज अ डिफरेंट व्यू. मेरा माइंडसेट चेंज हो गया बिकॉज आई एम अ पर्सन ऑफ एमएसएमई. आई एम हेल्पिंग. सो उसी दिन मुझे लगा सो मेनी बिग अपॉर्चुनिटीज इज अवेलेबल टू द चार्ट. हु इज गिविंग हेल्प टू दिस एंटरप्रेन्योर्स इन हरिद्वार? और क्या इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट, क्या बड़े रोड, क्या कैसे कैसे इंडस्ट्रीज, कैसे बड़े बड़े ब्रांड वहां आए हुए. सैमसंग एंड all brands are in Haridwar. So I think SIDCUL is playing very important role, and in my view, professional opportunities and opportunities in MSME sector is immensely available. As far as this pharma city in SIDCUL is a dedicated industrial park developed by this SIDCUL, State Infrastructure and Industrial, for developing pharma industry. And you people will appreciate that the central government Ministry of Heavy Industries has come out with a pharma park policy, pharma devices policy, medical devices policy, production linked incentive policy for pharma industries. And I surprised to see this pharma city in Uttarakhand, a specific industrial park for pharmaceutical industries in Uttarakhand. So I don't think, or some of you may be serving these industries in the state of Uttarakhand. So many opportunities are available. This is the layout plan of the Sidkul Industrial Park, other property, proposed master plan 2021. So those who are interested to help the MSME sector, just visit. अरे भाई इसमें प्लॉट किस तरह से मिलेगा? You have to become a knowledge person. जैसे सी यू हैव टू प्रोजेक्ट उत्तराखंड. आपको ये जो मास्टर प्लान बना है, इंटीग्रेटेड इंडस्ट्रियल स्टेट सेल्यूक्यू देहरादून उत्तराखंड प्लान, टोटल एरिया 207 एकड़. Out of that industrial acre, 147 acres, 71% of land is for industrial purpose. Roads, green park, community center. So this right hand side is specifically for pharmacity and left hand side only for all type of industry. So friends, take this opportunity, take this career, take this out of box thinking for your industrial practice. The opportunities are available within the state of Uttarakhand, within Dehradun. Now it is your part to explore the opportunities, to become a knowledge person and holding person for the overall development of MSME sector. As far as Uttarakhand is concerned, how much policies are there? There are 16 policies within the state of Uttarakhand. I am surprised to see the development. What is, I am first time speaking to the audience of Uttarakhand, to the North India. MSME policy, mega industrial and investment policy of Uttarakhand, industrial development scheme Uttarakhand, Uttarakhand electric vehicle manufacturing policy, heavy industrial investment and employment promotion policy, mega food park benefits, mega textile park policy, biotechnology policy, Uttarakhand Ayush policy, Uttarakhand Aroma Park policy, Uttarakhand solar power policy, policy for energy generation from pine, litter and other biomass, Uttarakhand tourism policy, Uttarakhand film policy. यूपी गवर्नमेंट बोल रहे ना, यूपी के अंदर हम हमारा फिल्म सिटी बनाएंगे. व्हाई नॉट उत्तराखंड हैव अ फिल्म सिटी ऑफ इट्स ओन? उत्तराखंड फिल्म पॉलिसी, उत्तराखंड स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी, उत्तराखंड आईटी पॉलिसी. फ्रेंड्स, कैन यू इमेजिन सो मच? अरे आपके तो 13 जिले हैं केवल और 16 पॉलिसी चल रही है. कितनी बड़ी प्रोफेशनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज आप के लिए अवेलेबल है. मैं तो कहूंगा देहरादून ब्रांच शुड टेक द इनिशिएटिव टू कम आउट विथ अ पब्लिकेशन ऑन वेरियस a compilation of industrial policies of Uttarakhand state. Compilation, all the policies in a single book published by Dehradun branch of Uttarakhand for the knowledge sharing, a ready reckoner for the entrepreneurs within the state of Uttarakhand, that they will get a single book from where the the policies, the guidelines, the procedures will be available. You can help, you can prepare the PowerPoint presentation of all the policies of the state of Uttarakhand, disseminate the 13 members team in all the 13 districts of the Uttarakhand, and have a 2-day seminar, dedicated seminar, education or MSME conclave of the state of Uttarakhand. In each district, the entrepreneurs, the young educated, the young youth of Uttarakhand will join those districts, and we practicing chartered accountant can play a PowerPoint presentation of 2 hours of each policy. 2 दिन नहीं, 3 दिन नहीं, 4 दिन आपको लगेंगे सारी पॉलिसी लोगों के सामने पब्लिश करने के लिए. And once you do this, I think in real sense we will be recognized or have the courage to say that yes, we have built Uttarakhand as far as MSME sector is concerned. Yes, the Honorable past President of India has truly spoken about us that yes, we are partner in national building. So what are Uttarakhand policies? Uttarakhand special incentive scheme for women entrepreneurs. वुमन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए उत्तराखंड में एक स्पेशल पॉलिसी बनी हुई है। कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट सब्सिडी 25%, मैक्सिमम 25 लाख रुपीज। अगर 1 करोड़ का कोई वुमन एंटरप्रेन्योर प्रोजेक्ट डालती है उत्तराखंड में, that woman entrepreneur is eligible to get 25 लाख रुपीज सब्सिडी। अरे सर 25 लाख रुपीज तो आपको मार्जिन लाना पड़ता है 1 करोड़ का लोन लेने के लिए। अगर उत्तराखंड गवर्नमेंट आपको 25 लाख की सब्सिडी देती है तो आपका 25 लाख का कैश इनफ्लो बढ़ गया। So if you take 75 lakh rupees loan for a 1 crore project, 25 lakh rupees is contributed by the Uttarakhand. So what you have to repay? 50 lakh rupees only as a term loan. And beyond that, what is the additional benefit is given to the women entrepreneurs? Interest subsidy. Interest subsidy at the rate of 6% on bank loan taken by the entrepreneurs up to a maximum of rupees 5 lakh per year. हर साल 5 लाख रुपए का इंटरेस्ट माफ मिल रहा है। So what is the planning? If a male member is establishing a unit and if you have attended this seminar, what you will tell? अरे Mr. Rajat Gupta, Rajesh Gupta, why you are establishing a unit in your own name? Please establish the unit in your wife name so that she will get this type of subsidy. 25 lakh rupees cash subsidy, 6% interest subvention. So this way, biotech policy 2018 to 23, 50 crore rupees का अगर कोई project लगाता है, then that project is getting reimbursement of 30% of actual cost incurred or maximum up to 2 crore, 2 lakh rupees per care for a biotech purpose. Uttarakhand Aroma Park policy, 6% interest subsidy, maximum 5 years. Electricity tariff subsidy, MSME policy of the Uttarakhand, MSME policy. So this way, I just want to enjoy the Uttarakhand also. I have included these small videos because I should feel that I am in Dehradun itself and I am enjoying the folk dance of Uttarakhand. So Directorate of Industries having their office in industrial area Patel Nagar, Dehradun, Uttarakhand is having this type of various policies of the state of Uttarakhand, MSME policy, Mahila Udyam Vishesh Yojana, Mukhyamantri Swarajgar Yojana, land allotment policy of government industrial estate. अरे भाई सबसे पहले अगर कोई भी MSME यूनिट आता है तो what is the immediate requirement is an appropriate industrial NA converted land. So what will happen if a chartered accountant support an entrepreneur to get land allocated from the appropriate authority of the Uttarakhand government? I think the entrepreneur will remain forever with him for his all professional services, right from subsidy practice, right from non-traditional, right from pollution control clearances to the traditional practice of say tax audit, GST audit and all audits. A special integrated industrial incentive policy, HIL policy. See, the Jammu and Kashmir government has come out with a J&K industrial policy. And you know, Uttarakhand is rich for as far as apple is concerned, fruits are concerned. And I urge to all the entrepreneurs from Uttarakhand, existing as well as future, the existing chartered accountant, cold storage, National Horticulture Board, Government of India is giving subsidy at the rate of 50% of the project cost for storage of horticulture produce in hilly part of India. Suppose a 5,000 to 6,000 metric ton cold storage is established for storage of horticulture produce in say Dehradun or Uttarakhand, then a same entrepreneur has established another cold storage in Mumbai, Delhi, Vadodara, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Jaipur. Then what will happen? Apple, when it will be available at 40 rupees kg in Uttarakhand, can be stored in the cold storage with the help of National Horticulture Board 50% subsidy at Uttaranchal or Uttarakhand, another cold storage at Delhi with the help of National Horticulture Board with a 35% subsidy, because 50% subsidy is available only in hilly part of India. And there are two cold storage, one where the produce is grown, where the produce is produced, another cold storage where the produce is consumed, and a logistic vehicles, refrigerated van transported from Himachal or Uttarakhand to Delhi, to Jaipur, to Ahmedabad, to Surat, to Mumbai, when the same commodity is sold in wholesale market at 100 rupees a kg or 200 rupees a kg. So from production center to consumption center, two cold storage are established. I think this can be a big business proposition, that you have a cold storage at a center where the commodities are manufactured or where the commodities are grown, and you can have a direct contact, because the central government has now abolished that an entrepreneur can directly purchase from the farmers. So a cold storage owner, akrot, badam, or whatever commodities, whatever special fruits are produced in Himachal Pradesh can be stored in cold storage with the help of state food processing policy, central government food processing policy, and establishing another cold storage or having a tie-up or say integration or equity arrangement with the entrepreneurs from metro cities all over India. बिग बिजनेस प्रपोजिशन, एक बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस कॉन्ग्लोमरेट तैयार हो सकता है. यू कैन हैव 100 कोल्ड स्टोरेज at 100 consumption center and a big cold storage within the state of Dehradun at various locations where farmers can grow their produce and they can store their apple and various types of fruits in their nearby cold storage. And win-win situation. You will help the the farmers in the state of Uttarakhand not to distress sell their agro commodities. Similarly, you can purchase the commodity when it is grown in large quantity at a cheaper rate, and you can distribute that commodity all over India when wherever the rates are higher through refrigerated van. And even the National Horticulture Board, the state Uttarakhand National State Horticulture Mission is also offering subsidy for purchase of refrigeration van. 35% subsidy is offered for purchase of refrigeration van. So friends, these are the opportunities available as far as the Uttarakhand state is concerned. These consolidated Uttarakhand policy, Uttarakhand mega industrial policy, Uttarakhand textile aroma, as I have discussed with you, Uttarakhand mega food park benefit, electric vehicle, Uttarakhand aerospace and defense policy 2020 is a recent policy declared by the state of Uttarakhand. Why don't you understand this policy and make a PowerPoint presentation all over India? आइए उत्तराखंड में डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करिए. Government of Uttarakhand is offering you a attractive benefit under aerospace and defense industrial policy. Uttarakhand excise policy 2021. I am not going to read those policies, but I find if I would have read this policy, I would have definitely developed my professional practice in the Uttarakhand state. So these are the policy. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Swarojgar Yojana 2020. PMEGP, CMEGP is the policy. So here the Uttarakhand Chief Minister has come out with a Swarojgar Yojana, and from this Swarojgar Yojana 50 lakh rupees project, a conglomerate of 50 crore can be developed if it is come if we help them to grow their project in the state of Uttarakhand. So these are the various policies of the Uttarakhand. So friends, I have read so much policy of the state of Uttarakhand. Now I will take you to what our Honorable Prime Minister has spoken at our own platform at New Delhi.
आजादी के 75 साल देश मनाता होगा, तब तक बिग 4 को बिग 8 में बदल देंगे, और जो बिग 8 होंगे उसमें बिग 4 यही मेरे सामने जो लोग हैं उन्हीं में से होंगे। दोस्तों, ये सपना हम लोगों का होना चाहिए।
So you have you understood what the Honorable Prime Minister has told.
आजादी के
Big
75
Four जो बनी हुई है ना, he has a dream that new big four should come for India. And I think considering the number of policies in the state of Uttarakhand, Dehradun should come out with a big chartered accountant firm having knowledge of all the policies. Mr. Rajnish Agrawal, I am IT policy expert. Mr. Rajat Gupta, I am a textile policy expert. Mr. Jasmeet Singh, I am a food policy expert. Mr. Harshit Gupta, I am electric vehicle policy. Mr. Rajat Sharma, I am expert in say Mahila Udyami Yojana. Mr. Vimal Kishore, I am an expert in blah blah policy. So you can form a partnership, you can form a network, you can form a big four company, a chartered accountant firm within the state of Dehradun to help the MSME sector grow in all the 13 districts of the Uttarakhand. So I think you can give me another 5 to 10 minutes to explain something. Organizer from Dehradun, Mr. Rajesh Gupta, is it permitted or shall I stop over here? Are you listening to me, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here, very much here. Sir, please
So
continue
shall I
for another 5
continue for
minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah, please, sir. Please continue for 5 minutes, please.
You are enjoying or I am just boring you people?
Yeah, yeah. Sir, I'm enjoying your deliberation. Basically, sir, this is new for us because we have never entered into this area of practice.
Thank
So
you, sir.
it is very much interesting for us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So as I told you, how much type of enterprises are in India? Micro, small enterprises, medium, large scale, mega scale, ultra mega, infrastructure, public, private, public sector undertaking. So these are the multiple enterprises to whom we can serve. And as far as the central government is concerned, now I am coming to the central government initiative for we practicing chartered accountant, how we can help the central government to grow their we can take the help of Make in India, Made in India is the initiative of the central government. And with this initiative, more and more entrepreneurs are coming in the India. So we can take the help of, we can keep our eye and ear open, whatever efforts are taken by the central government to grow our practice. Startup India. Dehradun is also having startup policy as far as Dehradun is concerned. Even the central government as central Startup India movements has started, we can play a very immense role to help the young entrepreneurs, to help them, nourish them, flourish them as far as Startup India is concerned. Startup India, Stand Up India. You know, each and every branch of the nationalized bank has to compulsorily finance one project up to 1 crore of rupees under Stand Up India scheme. A woman entrepreneur has to be given one project, 1 year, one branch compulsorily under Stand Up India scheme of the central government. India's aim of being 5 trillion economy. When India is dreaming upon to bring our economy to 5 trillion, why not we chartered accountant from Dehradun and Uttarakhand can dream to develop Uttarakhand and take the benefit, because when India will develop, definitely MSME will develop and we can facilitator for development of this 5 trillion economy of the vocal for local, local for global. This is a voice given during the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. में जो यूनिट manufactured locally and it can be made a global product. So you can prepare a syrup of that juice, and which can be so poured in the water, and it can be used all over India. So there is a local product which can become a global. Impact Imbangro of 101 items to be defense ministry. डिफेंस ने क्या बोल दिया, अभी 101 जो आइटम हम लोग इंपोर्ट करते थे डिफेंस में लगने वाले, अभी हम वो इंडिया में ही मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे. एंड your government, Dehradun Industry Department, has come out with a aerospace and defense manufacturing policy. Take the advantage of the center, ease of doing business, more and more minimum government, maximum governance. So ease of doing business initiative. National Industrial Corridor, I think not important as far as Uttarakhand is concerned, but any chartered accountant who is having added branch in Delhi, definitely I think, and I think this committee, MSME committee, is going to have a detailed study about the National Industrial Corridor program of the central government. And I think we as a CA, we as an ICAI, we as an MSME committee can play a immense roles as far as this industrial corridor program of the central government is concerned. Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, Amritsar Kolkata Industrial Corridor, Chennai Bengaluru Industrial Corridor, East Coast Economic Corridor, Bengaluru Mumbai Industrial Corridor, aspirational district. This is a state-wise ranking of various states with the revised definition. More 99 excuse me, as far as 100% of the units in Uttarakhand will be now come into MSME sectors. So with this Ministry of Textile, as I already told you, technical textile is the future of India. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada, Ministry of Food Processing Industry. These are the various schemes of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Agro Processing Cluster was the project of the central government. Top vocal for local. PM formalization of micro food processing. I think Uttarakhand people can take the benefit of this policy. Very important policy of the central government. PM FME scheme. I think each one of you should prepare a PowerPoint presentation. You should have a brainstorming session about this policy in the Uttarakhand Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Top to total, tomato, onion and potato scheme for formalization of micro food PM FME scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat, particularly for Uttarakhand. This scheme, PM FME scheme, is very important. A national Ministry of Agriculture, various schemes are there. SFSC, Venture Capital Assistance Scheme, which is giving 50 lakh rupees in the form of venture capital assistance, which is interest free, which has to be repaid when the last installment of term loan is repaid. Uttarakhand can take the biggest advantage because venture capital assistance is given for agro-based industry, and Uttarakhand reach in fruit processing industries. SFSC venture capital assistance can be a very good scheme as far as Uttarakhand. Farmer producer company. You know that during the budget presentation of 2020, the Honorable Finance Minister has proclaimed that India has vision to register 10,000 farmer producer company in the country. And I think Uttarakhand can take the advantage of registration of Uttarakhand farmer producer companies. And the government of India through SFSC is offering equity grant of rupees 15 lakh rupees or say 30 lakh rupees as a bonus shares for registration of farmer. Two equity share for each one equity shares is given in the form of bonus shares by the central government, and credit guarantee fund up to 2 करोड़ रुपए तक का अगर कोई भी फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी लोन लेती है, the guarantee is given by the SFSC. So farmer producer company can be a good opportunity for we, as I told you, cold storage project, National Horticulture Board, and I can speak 2 hours about the national cold storage project scheme. 2 hours, right from concept to commissioning and the business model of cold storage, how we can develop a good business model. So national horticulture board cold storage schemes. Subsidy, NABARD is offering subsidy for various type of agro-related activities, Gramin Bhandaran, electronics and information software technology part, 50,000 crore rupees is given by the Ministry of Information, Electronics and Technology. Pharmaceutical scheme, India pharma industry, government plans 15,000 crore production linked incentive scheme to boost local drug production. And in Dehradun, there is a pharma city. So you can take PLI scheme for domestic manufacture of critical APIs and KSMs and DIs, pharma scheme for promotion of bulk drug parks, PLI scheme for domestic manufacture of medical development, scheme for promotion of medical devices park. So friends, number of schemes are there, number of initiatives are taken by the central government. And today you will appreciate that at an appropriate time, the ICAI, the Committee on MSME, on this appropriate occasion of National MSME, Global MSME Day, we have organized this summit, this type of webinar. And I think a new area of practice has opened for we all chartered accountants in this area of practice. I stop over here. I really from my bottom of my heart, very happy that Dehradun branch has given confidence in me from a person from Mumbai to give presentations on the Dehradun or Uttarakhand industrial policies and professional opportunities to chartered accountant. With this, I again Timbro Abar, thank you for giving me this opportunity, Uttarakhand, Dehradun, and now to head office for any type of question and answer which I may be able to explain to all of you. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. It was really a very enlightening deliberation made by you, and it is very thought-provoking, and will surely we all stand to gain. And these schemes and policies of the government are there, and we can add our expertise to it, and we can act as a catalyst and take these schemes to the MSME sector. We are fortunate to have today with us Mr. Sudhir Chandra Nautiyal, who is the Director Industries, Uttarakhand. Apart from the Office of the Director of Industries, he is also the Chief Executive Officer of Uttarakhand Handlooms and Handicrafts Development Council in the government of Uttarakhand. Mr. Nautiyal's contribution to the industrial development and particularly the MSME sector in Uttarakhand has been commendable. In fact, he is the one who has spearheaded almost all the investment promotion activities in the state, and he is the brain behind all the policies that are framed by the government of Uttarakhand for the industrial development of the state. I think post the creation of state of Uttarakhand, industrial policy came in, and it was recognized as one of the thrust areas that we can have agro-based and other industries. So the entire industrial policy, he was the one who has been spearheading this entire policy. On the academic front, he has a very impressive background. He is an alumni of HBTI Kanpur, the very famous and very old Harcourt Butler Technological Institute in Kanpur, and he's also an alumni of IIM Ahmedabad. The name says it all. So I'll now request Mr. Nautiyal to please enlighten us about the policies of the state of Uttarakhand in a more specific way. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vimalji. Thank you very much. You were actually coordinating with me for last 15 days, and I'm very happy to be amongst this distinguished gathering today. I'm really happy that Chartered Accountant Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, Committee on MSMEs and Startup, they are conducting a series of programs today on the MSME Day. So a lot of speakers have already spoken, and particularly Mr. Modi has actually covered everything. And I'm very happy I'm satisfied that all our policies are available, in the public domain, are accessible. Everybody can actually access these policies, and he has been able to see that what a development have taken place in Uttarakhand, what are the various policies. So I am relieved also because he has spoken about most of the policies from government of Uttarakhand. So I'll not take much time because we are, I think, already running ahead of this scheduled time. And this MSME Day, I think it is really a befitting celebration of MSME Day today. That chartered accountants from the state of Uttarakhand, they have gathered and they have actually organized this webinar. This is very, illuminating actually. We in fact learned a lot of things from the speakers, and this MSME's contribution to the economy of India as well as in the global economy, that has been very clearly highlighted by all the speakers. And to recognize this importance of MSMEs in achieving sustainable development goals, the United Nations declared this 27th June as MSME Day in its UN's General Assembly. And this is the 5th MSME Day today. MSMEs represent 70% of global employment and 50% of GDP. So they are not important only for India, but globally they are very important, particularly in terms of creating employment opportunities. And I would thank all my colleague speakers. Let me first express my gratitude to all the speakers who are in panel. Mr. Goel spoke very first, Mr. Bipul Dabarji, Mr. Guptaji, and Mr. Birendra Kalra is with us. So Kalraji is working with the government of Uttarakhand Industries Department very closely, not only as being the chairman of the PSD chamber, but as an expert in our facilitation council, which takes care of the delayed payments of MSMEs. The provision, this council's provision was there in the MSMED Act, and it is a very important forum for realizing the dues of MSMEs by large industries or even public sectors. And this forum has been very effective. And in fact, industries are now, they are requesting Government of India also to even strengthen this facilitation council, because it has been very effective in getting the dues of MSMEs from the large industries. So 2-3 words were emphasized by all the speakers, all the CAs. One was mentor, first used by Mr. Goel and then also by Mr. Modi. And second was knowledge partners. So these two concepts, I think, are very, most welcome, because CAs as mentors and CAs as knowledge partners, if they really work on these two important aspects, I think their relevance, their contribution to MSMEs development, their contribution to the economic development of the state as well as the country will be, very high. And this will be appreciated very well by the government as well as by the MSMEs. So ethics, I think you will discuss sometime within your own, when you meet and internally you discuss, because ethics is another area which was not touched upon today. But I think certainly CAs will see that they ensure that all their members, they work in a very transparent way, and they don't actually indulge in such nexus that their reliability and their reputation goes down. Because I know most of these senior CAs, they are very good, and they always come to us, discuss with us, and they help industries also. But there are some people, and I think you yourself can check those people and see that they really work as mentors and knowledge partners. So that's a different issue. But the topic was CA's swift responders to MSME needs. And at this time, I think the impact of pandemic on MSMEs is a very burning issue. And a survey came last week only that 73% of Indian MSMEs couldn't make a profit during the last financial year, and 80% are not really comfortable, not secure about their future. So this is another area where I think CAs can contribute a lot, because reviving the industries and restarting the industries, that will again be a very important aspect of business development. To restart, I think there was a study which was put on public domain yesterday only. The end of the lockdown will not spell a return to the old normal, nor will it be universal. So it doesn't apply to all the sectors. Some sectors have really been shattered, and but some sectors are picking up, and some sectors will need to diversify, to look new ways of doing business, and also sometimes change the business lines also. So that's not an easy task, and with proper financial support, proper financial guidance, I think our MSMEs are always capable of you know uh, taking care of the changing environment, changing economic scenario, and the changing world. And with this pandemic, I think a lot of change has come into this MSME sector. And the GDP growth, last year it was into negative only. The projections for this year was earlier 11%, but RBI has again, lowered it to 9.5%. This quarter one progress was projected to be about 18%, but the figures are not out. But some papers, they mentioned that the progress, the GDP growth may be negative in the first quarter, but we are very hopeful that this will pick up. And the RBI's the latest press note from RBI that says that good monsoon and the picking up speed of vaccination, these two factors will be, I think, in favor of faster economic growth. So we hope that our MSMEs can not only survive, pick up, but they grow with the capabilities they have. And our entrepreneurs, Indian entrepreneurs, they are known for their entrepreneurship. That will be that will see the flourishing of MSMEs. That is, we are very hopeful. So as far as support is concerned, I think Mr. Modi has very elaborately told there are plethora of schemes from Government of India, and if we read all these schemes, we'll get confused. So as he suggested, that we should focus on one sector. So one CA may be focusing on one agri and horti sector, some maybe on manufacturing sector, because there are lots of schemes. Even one ministry doesn't know what scheme is being run by the another ministry. So it's not really easy to be aware of what's happening in various sectors, various ministries. But of course, in state government, when you are working with the state government, we will try to keep you informed about the developments. And I think we need to have more sessions for this interaction on policies, because only policy is not important. Sometimes guidelines are also important. Sometimes the issues are not addressed only by the policy, and when the industrialists come to bank or comes for claiming the subsidy, he knows that he has not done this, he has not done this. So those small finer points can be discussed. Once I'll suggest that first the policy you should read, because all policies are available on the public domain. Mr. Modi mentioned about the production linked schemes that has been launched by various ministries, pharmaceutical also, and we conducted lots of seminars for industries with the help of Invest India, as well as with the help of the concerned ministries. Like last week only we had the webinar on PLI on pharmaceuticals. So that's very important. Food processing PLI, I think that last date is gone, so that scheme is already over. In case that the last date for submission of proposals is not extended. So this is over, but lot of PLIs are still alive, and even some more PLIs are likely to come. Like for a steel sector, they are planning to launch one PLI. So they are, they are meant for bigger industries. So all in Uttarakhand, as was made out by various speakers. So we have 95% of our industries, they are into MSME sector. They are not the very large industries. So, and of them, micro is the, maximum in numbers. So 90%, more than 90% of MSMEs, they are micro enterprises. So reaching out to these small enterprises is a challenge for the government. The ELCGS scheme that was brought out by Government of India under Atmanirbhar package. I think in Uttarakhand, more than 1484 means about 1500 crore rupees were disbursed to MSMEs under ECLGS scheme. So that's, I think, quite impressive, but still the smaller ones, means micro enterprises, they feel that they have not been able to take advantage of various schemes announced by Government of India, various relaxations given by RBI. So that's a challenge for the government also, and that will be a challenge for if you become the mentor for you also, because you'll have to see that all your customers, all your clients, they get the advantage, whatever is, there in policies or in various programs. So in last package, Atmanirbhar package, the definition of MSMEs was also changed. And I think now most of our enterprises, they fall into MSMEs. And then services sector is also part of the MSMEs now. Only retail trade is not there, but most of the businesses now they fall under MSMEs. So the threshold for investment and the turnover has, I think it's gone up to 50 crores for medium enterprises and 250 crores of turnover for medium enterprises. So that's a big jump, and that will help MSMEs to grow. Micro can grow into small ones, smaller one can grow into medium one. So that is also, that should be the our aim also, your aim also, that your client, they move on this ladder. It means they grow. Micro becomes small in few years, then from small to medium they grow with the help of various policies of the state government as well as from the central government. So ideas given by Mr. Modi, I am not repeating those things, and I'll not discuss about the details of the policy today because we are left with very little time. But I will request the local chapter of ICAI, Mr. Kalra is working with us. So we'll arrange some programs on disseminating the policy finer points of the policies. So you can actually, now we are seeing that IDS scheme of Government of India, Industrial Development Scheme, that is for Himachal and Uttarakhand. That is the policy most of which most of the industries are taking advantage of, is the Industrial Development Scheme for Himachal and Uttarakhand. So 30% of capital subsidy on plant and machinery up to 5 crores is available. And the role of chartered accountants has become very important in that, because they ask for the bank appraisal first. So bank appraisal is required, and they need certain, parameters, financial parameters, which so many of chartered accountants, they are helping MSMEs, because now we see that most of the industries, they don't do it themselves, but they take help of the chartered accountants. So their role becomes very important, and we'll be very happy to share with them what are the problems with various applications, what are the in Uttarakhand is amongst the top performing states in ease of doing business rankings. We have done a lot of things across departments. And most of the services, business related services, are now online, and chartered accountants play a very important role in this, in the dissemination of these informations, that all these services, all these claim of incentives, that is now online, and you need not to go to any office. So those reforms that have been made under UDB and the single window portal, single window scheme, I hope that will help a lot in promoting entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship doesn't grow where there are a lot of regulations, not easy to follow. So they get disheartened, they get demotivated. So, but now I think the government of India initiative on ease of doing business, each state is competing with each other and improving their ease of doing business, rankings, as well as the single window systems implementation. So for MSMEs, future is really very bright, and only 2-3 policies we have not been able to notify. Is one is export policy, but draft policy is under consideration of government of Uttarakhand. Hopefully that will be soon notified. And another area is logistics area, which for Uttarakhand particularly, it's very important to reduce the logistics costs, to improve the logistics infrastructure. So we have already initiated drafting this logistics policy, and hopefully this policy will be announced very soon. So we have covered almost all areas, as Mr. Modi told, that some sectors are unique to Uttarakhand, like aroma policy. So we are the first state, we are the only state, I think, where we have an aroma policy. Similarly, pine litter is unique to Uttarakhand, and we brought out a pine litter policy during the investment summit of 2018. So Niti Aayog is also working on reducing compliance burden, and Uttarakhand is in the forefront of these reforms. We are working with industry also. Mr. Kalra is in that committee, where we are seeing where filings can be digitized. If not, most of the filings have been digitized, means all services are online, all your returns, everything, they can be filed online, and processes are being made simpler. So wherever one industry has given some information, like in our single window system, if you have given your PAN number once, if you have given your details in any application, means common application, so you will not be asked for those informations or for those documents again and again. So we are also looking at those acts, central or state acts, which are redundant and should be scrapped off. And with this, I think the environment for industries to invest and to grow will improve with the reforms. And Mr. Modi also made mentioned about the entrepreneurship development program. So we are working with the Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship, and they are working on developing a state entrepreneurship strategy for Uttarakhand. So that a study has been completed. Hopefully next month we can have that report, where we'll see that our youth can be motivated to take up the entrepreneurial ventures, because this is lacking in Uttarakhand. Our youth were not entrepreneurial, but during last 2-3 years we have seen a lot of change in the mindset of the people, even in the hill states. So the Mukhyamantri Swarojgar Yojana, which was launched post-COVID only, to help those who had come back from various parts of the country or even from outside to take up some self-employment opportunity with the help of bank finance, and that scheme has been very successful. More than 3,000 youth have been funded again through this scheme, and some of them are really doing very well. they don't want to go back. Some have gone back, yes, because they feel that their job is more important, more rewarding. But many people, they have stayed back and they are doing very well in their own home town, or in their villages. So for improving this entrepreneurial culture, we are also working with various educational institutes and seeing that the entrepreneurship development centers are established in all colleges, in all universities, and the youth are sensitized about these opportunities, because at school level or college level, most of the students, they are not aware that this can be a career also. They can not only look for the jobs, but they can do their own businesses. So similarly, we have a startup policy. Dehradun is growing a startup ecosystem, and through this policy, we are trying to see that Dehradun and Uttarakhand, that becomes a hub of innovation, a hub of startup. And some of our startups have shown very high promise. One of our startup is representing India and Southeast Asia in World Economic Forum. So that shows that our youth, in particularly in engineering colleges or IITs or IIMs. IIM Kasipur is working on agro-based, promoting agro-based startups. So their success has been very impressive during last 2 years. So with the help of IIM, IIT, Graphic Era University, DIT, and all these leading colleges, we hope that our startup numbers will grow and our startups will become more successful. The good point is that our business ideas or startup ideas, they don't come only from colleges in Dehradun, but they are coming from the remote areas also. So we conduct boot camps every year, in which we go to all these colleges and see that what ideas those students can pitch in their colleges itself. This year we did it virtually, and we are very happy to share that a lot of ideas, lot of business ideas have come from remote and hilly areas of the state. So that augurs very well for the startup and entrepreneurship development in Uttarakhand. And as I said that ICAI, they will work on how MSMEs can actually take up those projects which are really viable. And that was a very good point made by Mr. Modi, that each district has its own strength, own resources. Some projects may be viable, some may not be viable, but even banks find it very difficult, and for government also it is a priority that we work out on projects which are viable in a particular geographical area. So in developing those projects, model projects, I think CAs can play a very important role, and we need to work a lot together. That is the today's, I think, lesson for us, that CAs need and government needs to work with these professionals more and more, so that they can contribute to the development of MSMEs, startups, and entrepreneurship in the state. So I'm really thankful to the institute, and hope to see that we organize such programs frequently, and we interact frequently, so that our policies, our intention also, and we can take your professional help and guidance. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Nautiyal sir, thank you very much. One thing, with the permission of Vimal ji, we are having one national conference in which we are expecting the Chief Minister also to join, hosted by Dehradun branch, in which we are having one very, very important topic, how to have the investment opportunities in the state of Uttarakhand.
Yeah.
So we have already requested the Chief Secretary and Finance Secretary of the state, if they can, we will be having around, we are having the target, Kalraji, around 20,000, 25,000 chartered accountants to be the part of the national conference. It is 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of July. I think Vimalji and other leaders will coordinate with you and Kalraji at how we can have the presence of either the chief secretary or the finance secretary so that each and every chartered accountant who is there in each and every part of the country, outside the country, can try to contribute, can try to come to know that what are the investment opportunities and how the trade and industry and the FDI can come to the state of Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand. So that is my humble request. If the team Dehradun can coordinate with the dignitaries, because the purpose of these type of programs will be served when in real true sense we will achieve something. So as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is the true partner in nation building, we are the statutory body under the Act of Parliament. So we are very, very keen to see that how this Devbhoomi Uttarakhand can come in the mainstream of the investment destination, not only for the investors from India, but also from the other parts of the world. So that is my humble submission. I think the team Dehradun can try to coordinate this. Yeah. And we are, of course, we have already invited Acharya Balkishan ji also from Patanjali, because Patanjali Ayurved Limited is one of the most prominent industrial house in the state of Uttarakhand. So we do expect what is their perception also, and how, of course, they are very, very comfortable. Then only they are there in Uttarakhand. So I think that would be a lesson to a message to all the chartered accountants that this is the best of the place in India. It is not only Devbhoomi for all of us, a religious point of view, but it is Devbhoomi for the investment also. So that is.
We are grateful to you, sir. You are thinking of this. It's in our interest only that more
Yes,
and more people know about the investment opportunities in Uttarakhand. And one thing I would like to tell you, you took name of Mr. Balakrishna. After this investment summit in 2018, in 2020, we had planned wellness summit, because tourism, ecotourism and wellness, we feel this is a sector where Uttarakhand can be a leader. And we had, in fact, organized the road shows also. We went to Kochi also, in Kerala also. And we found that there is a lot of interest, even in Kerala, to come and invest in Uttarakhand. So we will be very happy to work with you and see that more and more people know, because CAs also guide investors where they can invest, where policies are friendly, where the investment opportunities are there. So thank you very much for this concept. We'll be very happy to associate with.
I will request Kalraji, Vimal Kisorji, Rajesh Gupta ji, and other leaders to please coordinate.
Yeah.
I think Rajesh ji, Vimal Kisorji, they must be having all the informations, all the correspondence we have shared with them. And we are in active dialogue with the Chief Minister Office also and the Chief Secretary and Finance Secretary Office also. But of course, as you are sitting there, so we want to do really something very, very concrete for the state of Uttarakhand. Yeah.
Thank you, Nautiyal-ji. It has really been a very inspiring and knowledgeable deliberation made by you. And we'll surely play that role of mentorship and collaborating with the government to bring out the best of the policies. And I think today's event has, in that perspective, been very fruitful, because we have all got a very clear message on the way forward. We are fortunate to have CA Virendra Kalra also today with us. And Virendra Kalra is, I think, one of the most prominent chartered accountants of our region. He is the face of our profession, with over, I believe now, almost or maybe more than 30 years of experience in the professional field, to his credit, though he does not look that old. But he has over 30 years of experience and has always been there on all fronts. He was one of the founding members of our branch, and the branch that we all boast of, and which is like Anuj Goyalji also always has high words for our branch. So he's one of the founding pillars of our branch also. Then academically, everybody swears by his grasp of knowledge, his understanding. Even in our institute, he has been on several committees for drafting standards on internal auditing. And he has been working even closely with the government. Two committees, we just came to know when Nautiyalji mentioned that he has been working with the state government also in formulating policies which are favorable to MSME in terms of their compliances, in terms of how best these can be drafted so that the targeted benefit is derived by all. On the professional side again, he is also representing the PhD Chamber of Commerce as the state head, and that makes it a very unique combination wherein you are actually representing the industry also, and you are also helping the industry and the industrial houses in various matters related to statute, related to finance, related to accounting and everything. So I'll request Virendra ji to please enlighten us with his ideas, with experience, and the way forward. Over to you.
And Vimalji, to be very precise, he has, I think, completed around 31 years. He qualified in 1990, and I started my articleship in 1990.
Okay. Great. So I think, thank you, Vimal. Thank you so much. When I'm joining here today, I have this very unique privilege of joining in an external capacity, not being as a member. But obviously, there is this, there's this charm of being a member also, and being a part of the entire fraternity when I'm speaking today. I think the biggest thing somebody would probably ask that why I'm heading an industrial chamber in this state when I'm a chartered accountant. I'm not an industrialist. So I would probably put it to something which we've all been discussing today. One fine day, I was just sitting on my table and I was advising my clients, and I said, it's very easy to prescribe. As consultants, as advisors, we are always prescribing. Do this, the law requires this. If you don't do this, there'll be a fine, there'll be a penalty. So you're always advising your client, and the client is always under pressure because you are telling him to comply with the regulations and do other stuff, which as a counsel, as an advisor, is very, very easy for us to do. We can always say that, do this and do that. But then, one has to get on the other side of the table. So I wanted to step into the shoes of my clients when I joined the chamber. When I joined the PhD Chamber of Commerce, my idea was to actually understand what lies on the other side of the table. And when I started going on to the other side, I could see the number of problems the MSME sector is facing in the country today. There are hundreds of laws one has to cater. There are hundreds of procedures one has to cater. There are multiple departments, numerous departments which one has to go and actually do your job with. So by stepping into this role of being the PhD chairman, today, and as a member of the chamber, which I would urge every member here, every CA to join a chamber so that the pains and pain points of the industry. There are so many pain points of the industry that you can't even realize sitting on your table, that what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to run their businesses. Things are a little different today. I think we have very good work which is being done by the government to facilitate the MSME sector today, as we've seen in this entire discussion. But since I am wearing both the hats, I'll only speak very briefly because this is a Sunday. We've already extended our time. As professionals, we have to value our time. That is the most important thing we have to do. I think the two things which I'd like to say, which are very, very important today is, one, you must have empathy for your client. You see, if you are going to help them with different schemes and different benefits, it's not about your financial interest. It's not about your fee. At the end of the day, it is the empathy for your client that whether he is going to achieve what he has set out to achieve, and whether you're going to help him in his business to grow him. We can't grow as chartered accountants until our client grows. So our growth is directly linked to the growth of the client. And the biggest challenge with any unit, when we are talking about a micro unit or a small unit or a medium unit, is the growth. For them, it is almost impossible to break a barrier. There is always this barrier at the top where you can't scale up. So I think this is where exactly our role fits in. When we are telling our clients to scale up, how to teach them to scale up, how to facilitate them to scale up. I think this is exactly what we need to do. And our entire expertise doesn't go into compliances and regulations. Obviously, that part of the practice will always be there. We'll be making money out of compliances, regulations. But I think the most important point is, how do you see what value you can create where? And all these policies give us a unique window to us to create that kind of a value addition for the client. So I see that, that until you have empathy, until you create the value for the client, you can never be actually gaining long term. If Uttarakhand grows, our client grows, Uttarakhand grows, then we automatically grow. So Uttarakhand has been a very small state. It has its own unique challenges when you're talking about Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is a hill state. It's also a plain state. So we have unique challenges. We are dealing with two sectors, two different set of people who are facing different challenges. So, there is always this challenge that everybody has to grow uniformly. Now, there is a lopsided growth. We might grow in Dehradun, but we might not grow in places like, the hills. I'm talking about Pithoragarh, Chamoli, Uttarkashi. So the growth is lopsided. I think this is where we have to ensure that as chartered accountants, we can facilitate the entire state to grow with its own unique challenges. I think the second challenge which the state has today is, that we are a little eco-sensitive state. The environment carries a lot of weight in the state. So the growth cannot be, it cannot be at the cost of anything. It's very different from other states. When we are talking about Uttarakhand, we can't have land available all the time, that we have land because we have a lot of forest area, which is serving as the lung for the nation. So we have to balance our growth with the environment. And this is where the challenge is. And I think this is where the creativity has to come in from people like us. How to sustain growth, with SDGs, with the sustainable development goals, how do we sustain this growth for the state in a way that, we are able to actually take forward the growth and not damage the environment of a very, very beautiful state, which we have. So I think this is one challenge which all chartered accountants will face. It's not about money at the end of the day. It's much more about sustainable growth. And this is where we need to fit in. Beyond that, what I'll say is, the state has done well. We are doing almost, I think our state GDP is running at 10% every year, which is a phenomenal growth for any new state. We are somewhere near the top 10 in terms of ease of doing business today. I can vouch for the fact that Mr. Notial is there. I have worked very closely with the government. The government is doing almost everything possible to help the industry. I have seen people, we have a very, very sincere set of administrators in this state. They are helping, they are going out of their way to help the state. So I think we should sort of try and form a partnership. My request to Mr. Notial here would be that, sir, please involve CS in almost all committees everywhere. Almost in every committee of the state, you must have some chartered accountant representation. I have been fortunate to get associated with the state machinery and we've been able to contribute. So we've been able to give some suggestions on ease of doing business, because we deal with the clients tell us what the problem they face, and then we convey that same, problems to the department. So we are in a very unique position to actually understand what is going around. And though I have given some bit of my suggestions, but I think there is a space for a lot of things to be done well. So my request to the government would be that they should associate all chartered accountants in much better ways, sir. In almost every committee, you must have one chartered accountant who's an expert in that area. My same request to my colleagues on the other chambers would also be that, you must keep in every committee, you must keep a chartered accountant as a permanent post, because chartered accountants have this unique ability to understand things in their own way, and they can always contribute in that position. So I think these two things I'd request. I think we've done well with this, policies. Everything is going just the way it should be. I believe we've just touched the surface. With people like Mr. Notial sitting here and the kind of people, in the bureaucracy we have, the secretaries we have, and the political leadership we have just, I think just, sort of touched the tip of the iceberg. We can really do well. The state has everything going for itself. We have unique opportunities in unique sectors. We can't grow in every area, but we know our strengths. So the state has a 2030 vision as to which sectors we want to grow in. And those sectors are really the sectors where we must focus and take the state forward. So my thanks to everybody. I'm honored to be here today. And I request my colleagues I think one thing which Mr. Notial has touched is very, very important. When he talked about ethics, it is something which is also again close to my heart. When we are talking about all these policies and all these departments, there is a unique opportunity window for us to practice as a liaison. That is something which one has to be very careful. You see, this is all about licensing. When you go to different departments, getting a license done, getting a permission done, it creates an opportunity for doing a lot of licensing work. It is here where you are supposed to prove yourself, whether you're going to do it professionally, knowledge-based. Is obviously getting reduced day by day because of better government policies, single window clearances, time-bound permissions, everything. So the red tape and bureaucracy is going down. So you have to find the calling. It looks very attractive to say I can go to the department and get a permission done and charge my client for it. But please do not dirty your hands. There are many other ways of doing things in a better way, and I'm sure we can all do it in a much more
a pleasure to hear you out. You have been very crisp and precise in your presentation. and your advice to everyone definitely is very well taken. Any questions from the audience? I believe we have had a very elaborate and a very clear-cut session. I don't see, we had posted a message that if there are any queries, they can be sent through the chat box. If I look at it, I don't think that there is any query as such. So I think we are already overshot the time that we had decided for this particular program. I'll now finally request our Vice Chairman, CA Rajesh Gupta ji, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, clear.
Thank you. Honorable Cabinet Minister, MSME, Government of Uttarakhand, Shri Ganesh Joshi ji, Central Council Member and Chairman, Capital Markets and Investor Protection Committee of ICAI, respected CA Shri Anuj Goyal ji, our guest speakers, Director of Industries, Dehradun, respected Shri S.C. Nautyal ji, and respected CA Shri J.B. Modi ji, Chairman Industries Association of Uttarakhand, respected Shri Pankaj Gupta ji, Chairman Uttarakhand State Council of CII, respected Shri Vipul Dawar ji, Chairman Uttarakhand Chapter of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries, respected CA Virendra Kalra ji, members of IAU CII PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries, members of the Managing Committee of Dehradun branch of ICAI, and members of the Institute present in the virtual CP program. I, C. Rajesh Gupta, on behalf of the Dehradun branch of ICAI, our Chairman Shri Rajneesh Agarwal ji, members of our Managing Committee, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all for gracing the occasion and making it a successful event. I hope that we all would have gained from the deliberations of our seasoned speakers. I further thank our technical team, especially Arvind ji and Pulkit ji, for their continuous support in seamlessly holding this virtual program. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kala ji. Thank you, Rajesh Gupta, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. With the permission
Vimal
of-
ji.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nautyal, sir. Thank you, Modi ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
मोदी जी का नाम जरूर लेना पड़ता है, सर.
Thank you so very much, bhai sir. Thank you for.
क्योंकि
You must have
दिक्कत
managed
क्या है
from day
सर,
to day.
मोदी जी, थैंक यू जसमीत जी. मोदी जी बताते नहीं है कौन भाई है उनका, कौन भतीजा है, तो कौन भाई निकला है, कौन भतीजा निकला है, कुछ पता ही लगता ना सर, गलती से मिस्टेक हो जाए.